we'll go over the itinerary, we'll cover packing, etc., and then we'll open it up for Q&A to make sure we answer all questions that you guys have. This is being recorded, guys, so if you don't worry about taking too many notes. Everything that we cover, you will receive in electronic format, so you'll receive the pre-trip packet as well as the webinar recording. So you don't need to worry about taking too many notes. Just sit back, relax, and then if you have any questions at all, feel free to jump in. You guys should be able to see my screen now. Can somebody confirm that you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Do you see just a do you see one Word document, or do you also see my like the chats and all that stuff from the GoToMeeting panel?
I'm just seeing just the Word document.
Okay, cool. All right. Is that big enough, guys, font-wise for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's big enough.
All right, good. Well, let's get going. So, guys, first things first, Saturday, May 13th, you need to be at the Tulsa International Airport at 9:30 a.m., okay? That's 2 hours prior to your flight. So make sure you build in plenty of cushion to get you there on time. Last thing you want to do is stress trying to make a flight. So get there a minimum of 2 hours prior to your flight. You're flying with United Airlines. So you guys can either meet, I would recommend that you meet at the counter and you guys can all check in together there. What you're going to need to get your boarding passes is a 6-digit reservation code right here, K1TYRJ. That right there will you'll give them that with your passport, and they will issue you your boarding passes. If you don't have your passport yet, guys, you need to go ahead and get your passport. It will take about 4 weeks to process. So if you haven't done that yet, take care of that first thing tomorrow. You may have to pay a little bit more to get it expedited. All right, moving down. You guys are flying Tulsa to Houston, Houston to San Jose, Costa Rica. You're going to arrive in Costa Rica at 8:20 p.m. that evening. Our team will be waiting for you outside of the airport. We'll get you picked up. We'll get you back to Costa Rica Backpackers, and then we will have a delicious dinner prepared for you. We'll take your orders when you arrive at the airport, so we can go ahead and call those in, and they'll be prepared for you the next day. Coming back home, you're leaving San Jose at 12:40 p.m. So we'll get you to the airport typically about 3 hours before departure when leaving San Jose, because a lot of times the lines are quite long. And you'll get back to Tulsa at 11 p.m. that evening. All right, guys. Yes. Do we have a question? No.
No, I just joined via the phone. This is Professor Guard. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Guard. Great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shall I continue?
Yes, please do.
Okay, great. So guys, very important question. Should you carry your bag on the plane with you, or should you check your bag under the plane? In my opinion, I always carry my bag on with me. I like to know where my luggage is. I like knowing that it's right above my head and below the seat in front of me. Now, this is entirely up to you, but why risk it when you could easily carry your luggage on the plane with you? This trip is only 12 days. So, I mean, for a trip that's this duration, you can definitely carry on. There's no need to check your bag under the plane. However, when you're returning, I completely understand, if you want to buy a bunch of Costa Rican coffee, bring back chocolate, things like this, then definitely check your bag on. But while going over to Costa Rica, I highly recommend that you carry your bag on the plane with you, and that way you don't risk your luggage being lost, it being delayed, or not arriving at all. This does happen to travelers occasionally, and we don't want you to have that experience. So I know a lot of people, especially if you're not used to carrying your luggage on the plane with you, that might seem impossible. You're like, there's no way I can pack that light. But I assure you it absolutely is possible. I've traveled sometimes for 6 weeks at a time out of the country, and I'll have my carry-on bag, my backpack on my back, and an additional side bag, kind of messenger style bag under the seat in front of me. Plenty of clothes for 6 weeks of travel. You guys have 12 days. You can definitely do it. Additional
clarification: we're only going to be there 10 days, 13th through the 22nd. So
yeah,
just FYI.
Yeah,
10 days.
Yeah, sorry, we're going to be going over the itinerary here shortly as well. So yes, sorry about that. Even better, you have fewer days, which means that you need fewer clothes. Additionally, guys, there are lavanderias, laundromats available everywhere we go. So in the case that you do need to get laundry done throughout your trip because you did pack that light, you can have that done easily for typically around $5 or less. You'll get your clothes washed, dried, and folded. So here are the dimensions, guys. Make sure you double check that these are still accurate with United Airlines. They were as a week ago. These were accurate, but do double check and make sure that they still are accurate. Okay, guys. These are only suggestions of bags. You could bring, for example, a backpacking bag like this one here on the left. Again, suggestions. This is a duffel bag or a sports bag. This is something that you could bring as well. Very good for your carry-on bag. Or you could bring a little rolling suitcase, but that's carry-on size. Just try to avoid those big 6-month suitcases. If you're bringing one of those, you've definitely overpacked, okay? Now down here, you will need something like a day pack, normally about a 30-liter backpack, for example, or a day pack that you can use when you're on the trails, when you're in the national parks. You can keep your water in, you can keep your maps in, you can keep any kind of guidebook, your camera, anything that you need, you can keep it in your day pack because your main bag is going to stay back at your place of accommodation, nice and safe, locked up in your locker, okay? So you need 2 bags. You need a bigger bag and you need a smaller bag, all right? These are only samples right here, guys, only samples. All right, go ahead. Do we have a question, guys? Somebody come on the mic. No? All right, moving on. Let me change this from 12 to 10. There we go. Guys, and this is a sample packing list. However, a bunch of these things in here, in my opinion, are essential. So I'm going to kind of go over the ones that are definitely essential. Obviously, adequate clothing for the duration of your trip. Okay, quick dry clothing is optimal in Costa Rica. You will get wet. You will be wet throughout the duration of the trip. Every day we're going to be doing different activities where you'll be sweating, getting wet, as well as we're going during the green season. My personal favorite time to go to Costa Rica because it's quite refreshing, the showers. Now, typically in a day, there will be a rain shower in the early afternoon, and then it will rain typically throughout the night. Now, it's still gorgeous. It's beautiful. And it actually makes for a cooler climate. If you go to Costa Rica in February, March, April, it can be extremely, extremely hot. So I personally I prefer the green season or the rainy season. So don't worry, you're still going to see lots and lots and lots of sun, but there will be rain. Every now and then, or especially during the evenings. But it is a rainforest, so get used to that. We're in the tropics. But yes, quick dry clothing, guys, is definitely recommended if you have it. T-shirts, tank top, shorts, swimsuits. This comes from feedback from many years of doing this trip, especially from the ladies. The female travelers always suggest to bring multiple swimsuits. Guys as well, bring a couple pairs of swim trunks as well. Guys, you're gonna need some type of closed-toed shoes. We will be going on tours in the national parks. You never know what you're gonna run into on the trail. It's always good practice to have some type of closed-toed shoe. You don't need hiking boots, ankle-sized hiking boots. However, but if you can have something that is closed-toed, it'll protect you. So that way, if you're standing in a fire ant hill, for example, or if we come across some snakes off the trail, etc., closed-toed shoes are definitely ideal. Okay, it's just good practice, especially when you're in these national parks that we're going to be going to. Flip-flops you're going to need for the beach, also for for showers, communal showers. If it's not my shower, I always wear flip-flops. So I suggest you do the same. Water shoes, guys. These are the little mesh water shoes, or if you have like some Chaco Tiva sandals, something like this, those are great as well. Or if you just have some old tennis shoes that you don't mind getting wet, you can wear those well. But these are really good when we go to the rivers. The rivers will have rocks in them. If you go in barefoot, it's definitely uncomfortable. So you're going to want to have some kind of a pair of water shoes that you can use. In addition to that, you're going to use these when you go whitewater rafting. Okay, from La Fortuna. You'll need some type of shoes that you can wear in the raft with you. Okay, hat, visor, sunglasses, something to protect you from the sun. Guys, the sun is no joke. It's even if you tan well here back at home and you don't need to wear sunscreen in Costa Rica, you most definitely do. I recommend using 50 SPF minimum. The locals do not lay out in the sun. Absolutely not. They hide in the shade. The only people you'll see that are laying out in the sun are tourists, and then at the end of the day, they're fried like a lobster. So I definitely suggest that you take the sun seriously, use proper precaution, put on sunscreen first thing in the morning so it soaks in, and yeah, make sure you reapply and cover up when you can. If you have rash guards or you have long sleeve shirts, things like this, it's definitely recommended. Let's keep going, guys. Water resistant jacket or a poncho. If the rain doesn't bother you and you don't mind being completely soaked, then hey, you don't need that. If you do want to protect yourself, then you can get just a cheap plastic poncho or a little water resistant jacket. Okay. Guys, Costa Rica is very, very casual. So wherever you go in Costa Rica, shorts, flip flops, t-shirt, tank tops, this is 100% okay. All right. You do not need to bring anything fancy clothes wise, jewelry, definitely not. Keep it simple, basic, pura vida. Okay. It's very, very casual country. Guys, when we go out on the sea turtle night watch at Cahuita National Park, it's advised that you wear dark clothing. So if you do have some long pants, especially long pants and long sleeve shirts, this is mainly because the mosquitoes will be out. Okay, so that provides you extra protection. But also, don't wear anything that's fluorescent because it will often scare the turtles off if they do come to lay. So you do want to wear dark, thin, long pants and long sleeve shirts. Okay. Quick dry towel, guys, very important. Like I said, Costa Rica, it's very humid, a lot of moisture in the air. Things do not dry quickly. Okay. So if you bring a thick towel, it will retain too much water and it will start to smell like mildew after a few days. I highly suggest you bring a quick dry towel or a thin towel that you can use throughout the trip. Okay. You can buy these at many places. You can buy this at Ross. You can buy this at Target, at Walmart. Many places. They're about $10, $10 to $15, and yeah, it's a good investment. It'll last you a long, long time. A reusable water bottle, guys. Costa Rica's they have the waters is other than Cahuita, where we provide you where we have a 5 gallon jug every single day for you to fill up your bottles. The rest of the country, all the water is potable. So San Jose, La Fortuna, Manuel Antonio, you can drink the tap water there, no problem. Okay. In Cahuita, the locals drink the tap water, but we don't advise it for travelers. It's better practice not to. So you want to bring a reusable water bottle, so that way you can refill your water bottle from the 5 gallon jug, and you can use the tap water in the other cities. That way we can avoid purchasing additional plastic bottles. Let's help save the environment. Let's avoid that, and you can also save some money. Guys, I recommend bringing a couple of gallon Ziploc bags, and these you can also continue to reuse on all your travel. It's great. You can put your important items like your cell phone, your electronics, things like that you don't want to get wet inside of these Ziploc bags inside of your day pack. Because if there is a sudden downpour and a strong one, many times your bag will get completely soaked through, and we don't want you to lose something valuable like photos, videos, or just your phone in general because it got wet. So a couple gallon Ziploc bags, and you can use those over and over and over on all of your future trips. Okay. Guys, if you do have motion sickness, Dramamine or something similar is highly recommended. The roads are very windy. Okay, so for the travelers in the past that we've had who do have motion sickness, yeah, it is the roads are not ideal for that condition. We will put you in the front of the bus, but if there's multiple travelers in the same situation, then we don't have that many front seats. Okay, so definitely bring your necessary medication that you'll need for this kind of thing. Another good one to bring is some kind of anti-diarrheal or anything for just basic headaches, fever, etc. Because getting traveler's diarrhea, guys, is normal when you travel, especially if you're going somewhere in the tropics or in Central America, South America, pretty much anywhere you can get it. It's just new bacteria that your body's not used to, and yeah, it happens. It happens to everybody. So you can bring medication for that. Let's see here, guys. If you do carry your very quick one important thing. If you are bringing other medications down, you need to make sure they're in their original bottle. Okay, you can't just have a random bag of pills on the plane. It could be confiscated from you going through security. So make sure that when you're traveling, your medication, whatever it is, that is in its original bottle with your name on that bottle. Okay, guys, if you carry on your bag, which I recommend that you do, you want to break down all of your liquids into 3-ounce bottles. Okay, you're allowed 1 quart size bag, and you can fill that with as many 3-ounce bottles as you can fit in there. Typically, you can get around 7 of those little bottles inside of there. The things that I really recommend that you focus on is in regards to your liquids are sunscreen and mosquito or insect repellent. Okay. The reason I recommend those two is because those are definitely way more expensive in Costa Rica than purchasing here in the States. Okay. The other stuff like body wash, shampoo, these kind of things, you can get those for super cheap there, and we'll take you to the store and you can buy those and you can share with your roommates. But the things that are very expensive are sunscreen and insect repellent. So I recommend that those are number 1 priority in your quart-sized bag. Okay. Also, aloe vera, for example. Hopefully you don't get burned, but if you do get burned, a little aloe vera will definitely come in handy. Let's see here. We already went over sunscreen and definitely the SPF 50 I recommend. Guys, if you do have a waterproof camera, it's great. Just make sure you have some kind of like floating strap for it or something like that, especially if you're taking a whitewater rafting. They advise you not to bring it on the raft because so many people lose it. Basically, guys, when it comes down to valuables, I would ask yourself before the trip, if I lose this on my trip, is it going to put a damper on my trip? If the answer is yes, leave it at home. Okay. There are professional photographers who will be taking photos of you guys while you're rafting and things like that. Our team will also be taking photos of you when you're surfing. So, you don't need to bring an expensive camera, but if you do, just make sure you take good care of it. Okay, guys, you need to bring a padlock or a combo lock. This is for your locker that's in your room. Okay, if you do bring a padlock, remember where the key is. Combo lock, remember the combination. Okay, we already went over insect repellent. Passport, guys, you need a passport to leave the country. Please make a copy of your passport. Black and white is just fine. But in the case that you do lose your passport throughout the trip or it's misplaced, we want to be able to expedite the process and get you to the U.S. Embassy. So hopefully you can make it home with the group. If you don't make it home with the group, hey, Costa Rica is not a bad place to be. So you can hang out in Costa Rica for a little bit longer till it's ready. Okay, guys, ATM debit card and or a credit card as a backup. Please do not bring a bunch of U.S. cash down with you. It's just not good practice. Basically, you're putting yourself at risk of losing it yourself or getting pickpocketed and losing all of your spending money. What I suggest that you do instead is put your money into your bank account that's connected to your debit card, and use your debit card at the local ATM. This is the first stop we make on the trip is the ATM, and you can withdraw local colones. Okay. Currently, $1 equals 530 colones. An easier way to remember it is just 500. That's what it was for years. So basically, if you have, 500 colones, $1. 1,000 colones, $2. Easy way to remember it is to take for example, 5,000 colones. You just take the first number and times it by 2. So 5 times 2 equals 10. And there you go. That's how you can remember how many dollars it is. Okay, so 4,000 colones, 4 times 2 equals 8, $8. Okay, that's the easiest way to remember it. On average, meals now in Costa Rica run about, for a nice casado with black beans, rice, salad, plantain, a fruit drink, and your choice of protein or veg if you want. So normally it's either chicken or pork chop or fish or like a meat sauce, a meat in a sauce, carne and salsa. This would be about $6 US with the drink. Yeah. So we're going to show you guys where you can eat on the cheap for your lunches, but all of your dinners are included, and a couple of your lunches are included as well. Fruit drinks, natural fruit drinks, batidos cost normally about $2, so 1,000 colones. Okay, cup of coffee, is about 750 colones, $1.75, and it's amazing coffee in Costa Rica. So yeah, Costa Rica is still very affordable, but can also be expensive if you want to, do things that aren't really typical there. So if you want to go have Italian food, or you want to go have some kind of fusion food or something like this, it can be expensive. Or if you're spending money on cocktails and things like this, it can be expensive. But what I recommend is that just do it the local way: natural fruit drinks, local food. It's delicious. Um, but yeah, guys, you can pay in US dollars while you're there. And they'll give you change back in colones. Okay, so U.S. dollars are accepted. So if you want to bring like 100 U.S., like broken down into 20s or something like that, or even better if it's in tens, or 50 U.S. broken down in tens, then that might be a good idea as well. Just try to make sure you don't show up with 100. That sometimes 100 or a 50, even a 20 can be challenging to break sometimes. Okay, so definitely smaller bills are ideal. But again, we're going to take you to the local ATM right when you get there, and we're good to go. Guys, travel checklist. You need to bring a passport. Okay, again, if you haven't done that, do it first thing tomorrow. You need to tell your bank that you're going to be out of the country during your dates of travel. Let them know you're going to be in Costa Rica. Let them know the days that you're going to be there. This is so they will not block your card because they think that it's fraud on your card. Okay, let them know. Have them confirm that they put a note on your account. Okay, debit card, backup credit card. You need to bring adequate money for the trip. We recommend $200 to $300. Now, guys, you can do it for less than this, but we tell you that because we don't want you to arrive there and run out of money and then be stranded. But again, guys, local meals run about $5, $6. Okay, all of your dinners are included. So if you're just purchasing food and a couple of extra things, you could keep it at 100. But it depends on how much you spend on souvenirs, what you're doing in the evenings, things like this, personal spending habits. This is what's going to determine how much you spend. Okay. Make sure you bring your trip materials from your professor. Guys, if you are going to carry your bag on the plane, double check those dimensions that I listed earlier. Again, I'm gonna provide you all this information tomorrow morning electronically. Should you purchase a international calling plan? Yes or no? My recommendation is no. The reason is because everywhere we're staying has strong Wi-Fi. You can use free applications like WhatsApp, Skype, Facebook Messenger, FaceTime, etc. There's many that I didn't even list. This allows you to call your friends and family for free, opposed to getting an expensive international calling plan. Now, I've heard that international texting plans can be affordable. I don't do this. Normally, if I'm going to a foreign country, I purchase an international SIM card, and I use that. I use the local number, and I purchase data from Costa Rica. So I pay $2 for a local Costa Rica SIM card, and then I pay $10 for 2 gigabytes of data, and then I just use all the free applications that I listed. So I don't expect you guys to do that because that might be a little much for a 10-day trip. But Wi-Fi is definitely in abundance, and you can find it almost everywhere. So I would rely on that. Sometimes a little separation between home, especially when you're on an adventure like this, is good. You can enjoy Costa Rica completely. You want to provide your loved ones with Costa Rica contact information, and most importantly, guys, get excited. You're going to have an absolutely incredible experience. One thing you have to learn before you go, you have to learn the phrase "pura vida." That means pure life. Costa Ricans take it very, very seriously. It's like a motto in Costa Rica. They take it seriously with their health, and they take it also very seriously with their mentality. They're some of the friendliest, most positive people you'll run into. Everybody's super nice. Great people. Pura vida. You use it for hello. You use it for thank you. You use it for confirming that you understood. I mean, you'll hear it all of the time. So pura vida, get used to it. Guys, here are the places that we're staying. San Jose, Costa Rica backpackers. We've been taking groups here for years. It's amazing. You're going to meet international travelers from all over the world. Very, very cool environment. It's clean. It's safe. It's well-researched. We have excellent relationships with them. They know our Oklahoma groups. They're happy to have us. They will treat you very, very well. And you guys will definitely have a good time. Spencer Seaside Lodge, my personal favorite. You are seriously 20 feet from the Caribbean Sea. You will sleep at night listening to the surf. It's gorgeous. It's a rustic beauty. It's very, very beautiful. It's owned by a lovely family there. We've been keeping groups here for years as well. Hostel Backpackers La Fortuna is a new addition. Very, very nice hostel in La Fortuna. Again, guys, international travelers from all over the world. Lots of communal activities, communal areas, swimming pool, etc. Really great spot, great views of the volcano. And then Backpackers Manuel Antonio with a really incredible view of the Pacific Ocean and also a swimming pool, barbecue areas, communal kitchens, and things like this. So it's great. You guys will love it. Guys, I want to stress one thing, okay? If you've never stayed in a hostel before, please don't be afraid of the word hostel, okay? Silly movies have given hostels bad names, and the movies were just they were just ridiculous. I typically only stay in hostels when I travel or Airbnb. But this is the place where young travelers, especially student travelers, should definitely be staying. You're going to meet other young travelers from all over the world. You're going to learn so much about their travels, where they've been, what they've done. You're going to be able to share about your culture, what you've done, what you've seen. It's amazing. You're going to meet so many new people. It's in my opinion, it's definitely the place where young travelers should be staying. And these places are all well researched. Okay, we go for 100% satisfaction on our trips, and we want to make sure that you're in a place that you will leave, happy to be there. So here's all the information. If you want to check out reviews, check out photos, etc., you can do all of that. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact me. Okay. Guys, I'm going to go over the itinerary quickly with you. We've added in a couple of new activities. So I'll go over those with you, and then you guys can explore all of this in a little bit more detail later on. We've already gone over the arrival day, pick you up at the airport, welcome dinner. We'll do program orientation. You'll meet the guides, all of that. Everybody will get comfortable, get to know the team a little bit better. The next morning, we'll have breakfast, and then we're going to head to the Caribbean coast. It's a 4-hour drive. It's a very, very, very beautiful drive. We break it up. There'll be bathroom breaks, things like this. But 4 hours till we get to Cahuita. Cahuita is a little beautiful town, one of my favorites on the Caribbean coast, and a population about 1,000. But they have one of the best national parks in the country for biodiversity and beauty. And it's the only park in the country that relies solely on donations. So that's pretty cool. And you guys are actually, NOC is actually giving a substantial donation to Cahuita National Park. So you guys are going to be very, very popular in the community there. But that day we're going to go on a naturalist wildlife tour in the national park. You're going to see sloths. You're going to see viper snakes. You're going to see all different types of birds and animals, and Costa Rican version of a raccoon. And it basically, Cahuita National Park, guys, is made up of beach trails and white sand beaches. And it's going to be about medicinal plants, natural medicines, and it's very, very in depth. The guides are it's basically their backyard. They're trained guides. They're naturalist guides. They're very, very experienced. You're going to learn a ton from them. These guys are like brothers to me, Tito and Ludric. So you're in the best hands you could be in. You're definitely going to love it. That evening, you're going to have a Caribbean welcome dinner. On the Caribbean coast, they like to make their rice and beans with coconut milk. Okay, so everything's kind of got a little bit coconut flavor to it. If you don't like coconut, no worries. You can get something else. There's plenty of options. But then that evening, what we'll do is we'll go out on a nocturnal hike, and we will go. We'll go explore the beach and do a night watch on the beach for a few hours to see if we get lucky enough for sea turtles coming to lay eggs. Lots of sea turtles have been laying in Cahuita, and they just started the project a year ago. So you guys are kind of there at the birth of their conservation project that they've started in Cahuita. They've got great footage of the different the hatchlings going out to sea, and different breeds of sea turtles coming and laying. So it's a magical experience. I hope that you get to see it. If you don't see the sea turtles, don't worry, because the nocturnal hike is great, and they'll definitely find a lot of wildlife for you that you didn't see during the day hike. Okay, so it'll definitely be fun. Next morning, guys, we're going to be going surfing. You're going to do surf lessons. Coweta is the perfect place to learn how to surf. It has everything from beginner to intermediate. Our guides will do the best to get you up on the board. I believe you guys can do it. But yeah, we'll spend the first half of the day surfing. And then in the afternoon, we're going to go to the Bribri village and we're going to learn about medicinal plants, their natural way of living, and the way that they use everything in the environment around them for survival, for different purposes, for making clothes, for colors from different plants, for dyes for their textiles, to how to make chocolate the natural way. And so we'll go even deeper into the village. We'll have a nice meal with the family. We'll make chocolate. We'll sample chocolate. You guys can get chocolate and bring it home. 100% organic, natural chocolate. So good, it's actually healthy for you. Yeah, and then we'll go to the beautiful Bribri waterfalls, and you guys can refresh and swim in the waterfalls. The next day, guys, we're going to go to La Fortuna. It's the north end of Costa Rica, north central, kind of the volcano territory, famous for the Arenal volcano. That afternoon, we will be doing exploring the rainforest canopy and zip lining. And then we'll also see some cultural demonstrations from another indigenous tribe called the Maleku tribe. The Bribri is the biggest. The reason is because when the Spanish arrived, the Bribri were able to go deep into the mountains, the Talamanca Mountains, and this provided them protection and allowed them to sustain their culture and their language in comparison to many of the tribes in Costa Rica who unfortunately lost a lot of that. The Maleku tribe is much smaller than the Bribri, but they still have a presence, and we're going to learn a lot more about them from them when we're in La Fortuna. The following day, guys, we're going to go to the Arenal Observatory Lodge. I'll put Arenal here. Observatory Lodge. We'll spend a few hours hiking the trails there, exploring the flora and fauna, learning about the history of the volcano, which erupted in the late 60s. It basically wiped out Arenal town, and then it was the town was renamed to La Fortuna, the Fortunate, because it became a huge destination for tourism due to eruptions, volcanic eruptions, and people wanting to see lava, as well as it's kind of the adventure capital of Costa Rica. Whitewater rafting, canopy zip lining, canyoning, many activities that are available there, as well as lots of national parks and lots of hiking and things. So, yeah, La Fortuna, the Fortunate, became the new name. That evening or that afternoon, excuse me, we're going to go on this is a new activity. We're going to be taking a pontoon boat out on Lake Arenal, and we're going to do some birding out there. You guys will have a chance to do a little bit of sea kayaking or lake kayaking. We'll have a little barbecue with chorizo and tortillas, vegetarian options as well. And yeah, you guys will learn a lot more about the hydroelectricity in Costa Rica, why the lake's important, how the dam works, and a little bit more about the history of the former Arenal town. And yeah, it'll be a beautiful day out on the lake. And then that evening, we're going to be going to Baldy Hot Springs. It's somewhat of a resort, about 26 different pools, all different temperatures, ranging from room temperature all the way to scalding hot. Everything is heated from the thermal waters, the nearby volcano, and you can it's a nice day. We'll have a big group dinner there, and you guys can relax after a bit of hiking and refresh those muscles. The next day, guys, we're going whitewater rafting Rio Balsa. Rio Balsa is class 3 rapids. So definitely, there'll definitely be some screaming, but nothing too extreme. But it'll definitely be a fun day out. After Rio Balsa, you're out on the water, you're out on the river for about 3 hours, whitewater rafting. After that, we'll go to a little organic farm where we'll have a traditional lunch. They will show you some cultural demonstrations, as well as explain some of the more exotic fruits and the coffee process and how they process the coffee there at their farm. The next day, guys, we're heading for the Pacific coast. It's about a 5-hour drive from La Fortuna to Manuel Antonio. We're going to cross the Rio Tarcoles. It's a bridge which has the largest. You should check out some YouTube videos if you can of Rio Tarcoles. It's amazing. There's always about a couple dozen crocs down there. It's the largest habitat of American crocodiles in one area right there. So yeah, it's definitely important. It's also the most polluted river in Costa Rica. I'm not going to say Central America, but for sure Costa Rica. It's the most polluted river. That afternoon, we'll get checked in, Manuel Antonio. We'll have a little orientation, and you guys will have you'll be able to go catch a Pacific sunset, absolutely gorgeous on the beach. The next day, we'll have another wildlife tour of Manuel Antonio National Park. Leo is one of the he is the original guide from Manuel Antonio National Park. He was the first one that was licensed there. The park was actually part of his backyard, and so when they turned it into the park, he was the first one in line to become a guide. So yeah, it's he's been working there since 1975. I want to say 1978, something around there. Long time. That's the only thing that matters. But yeah, Manuel Antonio is great. Tons of wildlife and very beautiful beaches. It will remind you a lot of Cahuita. Again, guys, that evening we'll have dinner together, and then the next morning we'll go back to San Jose, about a 4-hour drive, and we're going to stop at the famous Brit coffee plantation, where you will see everything from the coffee beans on the tree, how they roast them, how they process them, how they make the delicious coffee, the world famous coffee from Costa Rica. We'll have a little bit more of an in-depth experience there, learning all about coffee. And then we'll go back to San Jose. We'll take you to the San Jose Artisan Market, where you can buy all of the souvenirs from around the country in one spot. They're more affordable there, and you can negotiate, you can haggle, you can get the best prices. Yeah. And then closing dinner, guys, say farewell. And the next morning we'll be going to the airport and headed back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. That is the itinerary, guys. What I'd like to do now is open it up for Q&A, and yeah, we'll go from there. If you have any questions about absolutely anything, now is the time to ask them.
Wow, Christian, thank you. That looks and sounds absolutely amazing. So I'm really excited. I hope all you guys are getting excited too. I don't have any questions right now, but hopefully somebody does. So yeah, thanks, Christian.
Hey, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Anybody, guys, there are no dumb questions. Bring them on. How about, do I need to speak Spanish to get around in Costa Rica? No, you don't need to speak Spanish. Many people do speak English. However, Spanish is, if you can do the basics, buenos dias, hola, gracias, these kind of things, de nada, these kind of things, you'll definitely be, the people will enjoy it. Okay, so if you haven't practiced Spanish, try to practice a little bit before you go, basic phrases, and it will really go a long way. Okay?
That brings to mind something, tipping. So we like to cover the customs of tipping in the country. If you could go over that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question. So guys, our guides are paid very well. So I don't want you to feel obligated to tip our guides. Most of the time, our guides will just give that money directly back to you. Okay. However, if you're going into restaurants and things like this and you're eating on your own, about 10% is standard. Okay. 10%, a dollar or two, something like that is normal for tipping. Okay. 20% is definitely excessive. Okay. 10% is the norm. The only, let me put it this way: the only people that I would suggest that you leave a little tip to would be, and this is completely up to you, okay? And that would be the guides, whoever your guide is on when you go whitewater rafting. But just a couple dollars is totally fine. That's because they're not our staff; it's another company's staff. Our team is we take good care of them, guys. And again, you guys, for you guys are like our family, okay? And our guides will tell you that as well. So we're going to make sure that you guys are getting the best deal wherever you go, okay? There's never any commission or things like this. Like when it comes down to buying souvenirs and doing activities and things like that, we're going to help you negotiate the best possible deal because we want you to get the best value and the best experience while you're there. Okay. But when you go to restaurants and things like that, tipping's normally about 10%.
Awesome. Okay. I can see who's here, but I see a few unidentified callers. So I was wanting to kind of get an idea of who was here. So I've got Carter, Colton, Jarrett, Maritza, and Tony, but there's a couple of other people that aren't identified. Can you guys tell me who you are so I know who's here?
Yeah, it's Caleb. I'm on the phone.
Okay, Caleb. All right. Hello, Caleb. And there's one other person. Caller number 1 or 2.
Caller number 1.
Okay, maybe they don't have a microphone or something. So, okay, well.
Nikki Slattery.
Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, thank you. This will help me, and then we'll be able to review this whole webinar if people miss it. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no rush there. But guys, again, if I'll give you we'll give another 15 seconds or so for somebody to pop up with a question. If not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I know you guys have things to do. So we'll just start the clock now. Give about 15 seconds to see if you want to pop up.
Christian.
There we go. Yes.
Hey, what did you say the term was that they say in Costa Rica?
Pura vida.
Can you type that in for me so I can see it on? Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. We'll talk about that at our group meeting too.
Okay, because I didn't want to be like the stupid one who just said it to random people, and looked like the weirdo who just didn't shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, everybody.
Oh, we've got to have a.
Everyone will appreciate it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good.
Okay.
All right, guys. Any last chance? Any questions? Obviously not last chance. You can always email.
Oh, yeah. One thing. I will say you already talked about cell phones again, but there is a cell phone thing that comes with our insurance. So we all have travelers insurance as students of NOC. You guys should have gotten an email about that. You don't need to do anything other than you might want to print out your card and bring it with you. But that does have a cell phone offer, but you think we won't need to take advantage of that? You think it'd be probably redundant, it sounds like. Yeah,
in my opinion, I think it's just rely on. If you're running your own business and you need to be connected at all times or something, then that's a different situation. But if it's just
that's not kind of trip. So
yeah. So if it's just if it's just keeping up with family and stuff like that, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, perfect. I had a student ask me about it, so yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate this, and it looks like we're going to have a great time.
My pleasure. Guys, I wish I could be there with you on this one, but I will be following you through social media. You guys are absolutely going to love Ludwig and Tito and Jerison and Memo, the driving team as well. Really, really awesome group.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a Facebook page. If you want to add, I can add you to it. Everybody, again, I've sent out an email. We do have a Facebook page, and there's only about 6 people that have joined it so far. So I can add you to Christian.
Please do. And guys, if you have any questions, email myself or Professor Gard, and get ready. You're going to have a blast. And pura vida, we will talk soon, okay?
All right, bye.
All right.
Thanks.
Everyone. Bye-bye.